Hello students, welcome to week number 15 and 16 of the spring 2024 semester. Okay, now for 2 weeks we are going to be working on this comprehensive semester payroll project. Okay, now the project is going to be using an automated general ledger software system. It's something that we've never used before, that you are going to get an opportunity to explore and see how in reality payroll is processed. Okay, we don't process payroll, well, most of us don't process payroll manually. We process it using different systems. Now every payroll system is different, but I believe that using the automated general ledger software is going to give you a good understanding of how systems work in general. They might be a little bit different here and there, but the logic of how they work is basically the same. Okay, so we are going to be working on this project for 2 weeks towards the end of the semester, weeks 15 and 16, running from April the 22nd through May the 5th. Okay, so let's see what we're going to be covering. So the project is broken down between 2 weeks. Okay, week number 15, which is going to run April 22nd through April 28th. You're going to be working with doing the payroll for October 9th, October 23rd, November 6th, November 13th, and November 20th. Okay, so you're going to have quite a bit of activities to do for week 15. Now, the October 9th payroll is a tutorial. It will teach you how to do a lot of the things that you have to do within the system. Okay, and then once you learn how to do them, you're going to apply that towards the next payroll cycles, right? The more you practice, the better you're going to get at it. Okay, it's just like any other accounting thing that we're learning. You learn accounting by doing, not by lecturing, okay? So it's very important that you practice, that you pay very close attention to that tutorial, because it's going to provide you with a lot of important information, okay? And then once you're done, those are the tasks for that specific week. They have to be completed in week 15, okay? Now, week 15 assignments are worth 75 points. Week 16, you're going to complete the December 4th, December 14th, and December 18th payroll, along with the end of year activities. Okay, those tasks are going to be worth 75 points. So combined, the entire project is worth 150 points. That is 15% of your overall grade. Okay, now this is a great exercise for all of you to learn. Okay, to learn something new. We have not been using any automated systems. Everything, all of the calculations that we've been doing so far are manually. Now we're going to actually see how the system plays a critical role in the efficiency of processing payroll and specific payroll transactions. Okay, I urge students to explore. Okay, I don't want to hear, Miss, I don't know what to do. Okay, that I will not accept. Okay, the system gives you a tutorial on what each button is for. It gives you a tutorial on how to do specific tasks. You can explore it. There's like a button to search if you have a question. So if you are telling me that you don't understand what you're doing, it's because you're not taking the time to explore the system and all of its features. Okay, so it is critical that you begin working on the assignment early in the week. Do not leave it for the weekend. Okay, work on it early in the week. That way, if you have a specific question, I can guide you. I am not going to tell you how to do things, because that is not how it works. You all need to learn how to do things on your own. Okay, so in this particular case, the software is designed to simulate a real life scenario that accountants or payroll personnel face daily. So you are going to be doing exactly like if you were working for a company. You're going to be processing their payroll. You're going to be embracing, okay, that is the key word. You're going to embrace this virtual environment that's going to help you bridge the gap between theoretical concepts, which is what we've been learning on, and actual practical applications. How is it really done in the workforce? Okay. Do not hesitate to experiment with the different features within the software. Click buttons. You're not going to break them. Okay. You're not going to break anything. Okay. So explore, click buttons, look at the different features that they have. Trial and error are integral parts of the learning process. You're not going to learn unless you make mistakes. We learn from our mistakes. Okay, so it's very important that, part of the process here is, first of all, not to give up. I've had students, open it up and they're like overwhelmed and I'm just not going to do this assignment. Okay, well, it is worth 15%. So if you had an A, that's going to bring you down to a middle B. So you're going to get a B. So we don't want that. Okay, or if you're not doing so well, let's say you have a C and you don't do this assignment, you're going to get an F or a D, So it's very important that we give it a try. Okay. Do not be afraid of making mistakes. Do not be afraid of exploring. Um, and try to really soak in all of the different features that the system has, because once you go out there to the workforce, you're gonna be exposed to all of this. So at least you have some general understanding of how is it that it really works in the real world. We don't sit there and calculate transactions, or uh, different payroll events, in a piece of paper. Everything is done in a system. We press a button and it does other things for us. So it's just for efficiency purposes. Okay. So I'm gonna jump over to Blackboard. That way I can show you how the system looks. I can guide you to the critical areas of what you're going to be utilizing. You will have 2 attempts for the project. That way, if you don't do well on the first one, you can give it a second try. But I do want to encourage you, because I've been assigning this project for since the release of this textbook. Because they didn't quite have this feature before. It was manual work, and now they've integrated the general ledger application. And some students do wonderfully. They excel. They miss. I wish all of our homework was using the system. And I have other students that just don't want to explore, don't want to learn. And they're like, I'm just not going to do it because I don't understand. I'd rather do it in paper or do, manual things. But we need to be flexible. Yes, we need to learn how to do manual calculations, and we need to understand how things function and work manually. But in the real world, efficiency is key. So we want to make sure that we do know how to use these systems. Okay. So let me jump out of here and let me jump into Blackboard. Okay, let me see which class I'm in. Okay, so I do have 2 sections of payroll. I've got accounting 1329 VO1 and VO2. I've got 2 sections of payroll this spring 2024 semester. I'm going to go to one of them. The layout for both classes are the same, so you should be seeing the same thing. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to scroll down to week number 15. Okay, that is where the project begins. Okay. So if you open week 15, you're going to, on the module overview, you're going to have what we're going to be learning. Okay. The assignments. You've got your review for your final exam since week 15. I don't know what's going to be on my test. The review for the final is there. That way you'd start prepping. And if you have any questions about any of the problems in your final exam, you let me know. And the project is due, this part of the project, part A part of the project, is due on April the 28th. So these 5 things need to be completed by April the 28th. Okay. Please, I encourage you to work on them early in the week. Do not leave it for the weekend. Remember, if it's the weekend, I do not guarantee I will be answering. So you will not have availability to me. So please try to get the questions to me Monday through Friday. That way I can try to respond as soon as possible. Okay. Now, before you begin working on the assignment, I encourage all of you to read the appendix for the payroll project. You are going to find a lot of information dealing with the project. So read it. Okay. It's very important that you go over it. I'm not going to read everything with you. It's quite a bit of information. So I'm just going to open it up. That way you can see how it works. We're going to be working on the full project, the illustrative case. We are going to begin with the October 9th payroll. So the October 9th payroll is going to help us get started. It is going to be a tutorial, and I'm going to open it for you in a bit. You are not going to be thrown out there, kind of like figure it out on your own. I'm going to go to the illustrative case full project. That is the one that we're going to be working on. Okay. And then it has a whole bunch of information here that, instructions, resources, information that you're going to be needing. All of that information is here. So please make sure that you review it. A lot of the times questions arise because students don't read. Okay, so it's very important that we read the instructions. all of the information. That way you can become familiar. Okay. Now, in this particular project, you are going to be employed by Globe Bright Paint Company. You are going to be the person in the accounting department responsible for the company's payroll processing using a computerized payroll system, okay, that we're going to be going over, okay? But before you even go into the general ledger system and start working on it, please read. I recommend. I am old school. I like to print it out and have it handy with me. If you have access to a printer, I recommend you print it out. That way you have it as you are working hand in hand in the project. You have this information readily available and you don't have to be going back and forth. But that is just my personal recommendation because I prefer a million times to have a piece of paper in front of me with the information. I am not very good with toggling back and forth in a computer or a different screen. Okay, so go over the information. All of the information is provided to you in the appendix. Okay, so I'm going to just let you do that on your own. The reading part, you're going to do it like every week. Okay, and then once you read and you print out all that wonderful information on the appendix, then you can begin working on the Chapter 7 Payroll Project Part A. Okay, I'm going to open it up for you and I'm going to show you how it looks. And I'm going to show you that, it's a great software to learn how to process payroll electronically, okay? It says here that you have 2 takes on the assignment. I always keep the highest grade, okay? And the system's going to launch the payroll system, okay? So we've got all of the different transactions and they have to be completed in sequential order. October 9, October 23rd, November 6th, November 13th, and November 20th. They have to be completed in order because the information flows from one period over to the next, okay? So let's open up our general ledger system for October the 9th, okay? And it's going to launch the actual software. Now, as you embark on this new interactive journey of learning accounting through CNOW's automated general ledger software, I do want to encourage all of you to embrace the full spectrum of features it offers. Okay? Understand that the exploration is at the heart of learning. If you're not willing to explore, you're not going to learn. Okay? And it is through probing into each function and tool within the software that you're going to cultivate a deeper understanding of accounting principles and practices. Okay? Remember that your ability to navigate and utilize this software proficiently is a skill that will serve you well beyond the boundaries of our classroom. The capabilities you develop through active exploration will set a strong foundation for not just passing exams, but for a successful career in accounting. Okay? Please stay curious, stay bold, and explore. Okay? Do not be afraid of exploring. Okay? Now, when you launch, this is what you're going to see. Okay? Now, it's wonderful, and I'm not going to go through this in complete detail because it will be very time consuming, but the system is going to provide you with a tour. Okay? Do not skip the tour. If you skip the tour, you're going to be lost. Okay? So it's going to take you through the tour. All you have to do is click next. So it's welcoming you to the simulation, and then it's going to give you an overview. Okay? This is the assignment panel. Okay? This is where you're going to find your task that you need to complete. Okay? You're going to find your source documents below, a calculator, and you can check your work in certain areas. Okay? But this is the assignment panel. This is where you're going to start off with. You have 14 tasks to complete in this October 9th payroll period. Okay? You can expand or collapse the panel, okay, by clicking the little arrow. Okay, right now I can't do it because they're just showing us, the different buttons. So you're going to click the button and it's going to open it or close it up. The instructions are here. You're going to toggle through the instructions. As you complete one, you click the arrow and then it'll take you to instruction 2. So this is where you're going to be following the instructions. Okay. The source documents are the information that you need to be able to complete a specific task. You're going to click on them. It's going to open you a window and it's going to give you all of the information that you need. Okay. This is what the source documents look like. They have 2 tabs. They've got the instructions and they've got the document that you're going to be looking at to be able to complete the specific tasks. Okay, so please make sure that you read both areas so you can be able to do the data entry in the system for what is it that is needed. Okay, so the source documents are critical information that we're going to be using. Okay, you have a calculator, access to a calculator if you want to use it here, if you want to use it on your phone, it doesn't really matter, but you do have the feature within the system. Okay, you're going to save your work. Okay, as you're progressing through the assignment, please, if it was me, after I finish each step, I would click the save button. Okay, that way if you have to exit, the work is saved. Okay, so this is excellent if you want to save your work and resume it later, but to me, just to be on the safe side, as if I'm progressing, I want to save it. Do not click the submit button until you are ready to grade the assignment. Okay, be very careful with that. The submit button is done after all of the steps have been completed. Okay, that is when you're getting ready to submit for grading. Okay. The check your work assignment option is controlled by me, and right now that we go into the live version, I'll show you if you have check your works, but I did give you check your works, that way you can make sure that you are on the right path as you're completing your tasks. Okay, there's some additional option menus. If you look at the little wheel up here, you click that little wheel and it'll open up another options. If you want to make the text bigger, it just has general instructions, tutorials, things of those nature if you click on the additional options menu. Okay, if you need help, if you're doing a specific task and you don't know how to do it, there's a help button, that little question mark up there. You click it, you type a topic, and you'll have a lot of information. So when students tell me, Miss, I don't know how to enter the payroll transactions. Well, first of all, it was explained in the tutorial. Second of all, if you have a question, click the help button in the system. Okay, you're gonna learn by exploring, not by me telling you, okay, click here, here, clear, and then you're gonna forget. Why? Because you didn't put any critical thinking into it. But rather, if you research, if you try it, it's gonna be a different learning experiment, okay? So, or experience. So please make sure that that help button, I use it all the time, okay? Because I don't use this payroll project, or I don't do it every day. So when students ask me a question, what am I going to do? I'm going to go in there and click the help button. And, oh, okay, this is how you do it. And then I'm going to go back and tell you how to do it. So if I'm going to get the information from the help button, then you can get the information from the help button. Okay, so it's just a matter of sitting down and doing a little bit of research. Okay. The simulation area is this wide area. That is where you're going to be completing specific tasks. Okay. And then here you have your module menu. In this particular case, we've got the company, the banking, the general ledger, the payroll, and the reports. It's very similar. I use QuickBooks, and it is very similar to QuickBooks. Very similar. So if you have experience with QuickBooks, you shouldn't have issues. I know that we offer 2 QuickBooks courses. So if you've seen QuickBooks in the past, or have used other systems in the past, accounting systems, they're very similar in nature. Okay, so these are the different modules that we're going to be using. You can expand or retract. So this is the module menu collapsed, just with the icons. If you hover over the icons, it'll let you know which module it is that you're on. Okay. The selected module is going to be kind of like blurred or dimmed, highlighted. That way you know this is the module that I'm currently working on right now. Okay. And then we have the top menu. The menu displays the items within each of the modules and what you can complete in each of those modules. Okay. So here, for example, they have tasks. Under tasks, you can maintain accounts, maintain vendors, maintain customers, do a journal entry, and generate closing entries. So if each menu option gives you a variety of things that you can do: prepare financial statements, do journal entries, post to the ledgers, everything. So it's just a matter of going through each and exploring and learning what each of the menu options have in store for you. Okay. Once you select a menu option, it's going to pop up in the window. In this case, they selected to do a general journal entry. So they've opened up the window with the general journal, and then down here you have the button either to search for a journal entry or to add a new journal entry. Okay. And as you add the journal entry, it's going to approve it for you to make sure that your debits and credits are in balance. Okay. So just be on the lookout. A new window will be popping up. Down here you have a list of the windows. If you have multiple windows open, you can toggle between them at the bottom. In this case, we only have one window open. And you can see here the window. So it's just a very quickly way to navigate between windows. Okay. You've got your dashboard. It's going to give you information in a graph form. So you have that information to view specific information. Okay. And then this is just a basic, key information to be toggling between panels. You can use it, and I would recommend, don't memorize it. Take a screenshot or a picture with your phone. That way you know the shortcuts to toggle between the assignment panel and the simulation area, or to toggle between the assignment panel and the source document, or within the simulation area, use a feature to move to the Windows button. Okay, so these are just general shortcuts that you can be using while to navigate from different areas. Okay, so read through all of this information carefully. Okay, explore. Okay. And then it gives you information. Read over it, follow the instructions. They're basically giving you hints on how to be successful in completing, the check your work. When you get something incorrect, you're going to be marked or noted with an X. So that way you can go back and fix it. Okay. Now, for example, if you do your journal and you make errors in your journal, that information is going to transfer to your ledgers. Okay. So you're going to have excess in your journal. You're going to have excess in your ledger. In order for you to fix the problem, you have to fix the source. The source is the journal entry. You're going to have to fix your journal entry and re-update the information so the information updates in the ledgers. Okay. So it's all, a cycle. Okay. So you need to be able to trace the information. And this is where what we've been doing manually really helps. Okay. So we need to be able to trace back the information from the journal to the ledger, make the corrections. That way all of the information is updated. Okay. But you will be highlighted with a check mark what you got right and with an X what you got wrong. Okay. So we are in the October 9 payroll. Now I can actually click buttons because before it was just giving me like a little overview. So in the October 9 date, you are going to be guided on how to do a lot of things. And I am not going to go through the whole 14 instructions with you. I'm just going to show you and navigate, what is it or how detailed it is. Okay. So we're going to be focusing on the instructions. We've got 14 items. Okay. The system is telling you to ensure that the system date right here is dated October 9, 2023. Okay, if it's not dated that, you're going to change it right here. You're going to click the calendar and you're going to make the change. Okay, this date is going to be used as a default date through the assignment. Okay, so it's telling you to go here and make the change. Okay, so that's all you have to do in step number 1. And then step number 2, I don't know how to remove this. I don't know what this is, but it won't let me remove him, guys. No, it's launching something. I don't want it to launch. Let me see. ChatGPT pops up everywhere. I don't know. Give me a minute. Okay, there we go. The little icons don't go anywhere. I hate it. Okay. Well, so from the general ledger module, select the account list and chart of accounts. So it's telling me from the general ledger module. Okay. So we're going to go over here and we're going to see, this is company, this is banking, this is general ledger. So if you don't know them, which I don't expect you to, you can just toggle over it. This is payroll and this is reports. Okay, those are the ones that I have available. They're telling me to go from the general ledger module. Okay, general ledger module, that's the one I'm in. Select account lists. Okay, account list. And then select chart of accounts. Okay. And then the chart of accounts opens up. You can use this little thing on the corner to expand the window, okay? The chart of accounts includes all of the accounts that we're going to be listing. Review the account names and classifications. You will use these accounts in general journal entries and will be used in the system generated payroll entries. So it's just how to locate your chart of accounts. This is how you locate them. If it were me, okay, how big is the file? Oh, we don't have that many accounts. I would print it out. That way I know I have 2 asset accounts. I've got quite a bit of liabilities, capital account, and expense accounts, okay? So these are the chart of accounts that you're going to be using. Here, they're just asking you to view it, okay? Review the account names, and that's it, okay? So we've done that. But as you can see, they're telling you how to do it, okay? You go to your general ledger, account list, chart of accounts, okay? So that's step number 2. Edit employee information, okay? So now they're telling you from the payroll module. So the payroll module is down here. I'm going to go to payroll, okay? And it's telling me select tasks and maintain employees, okay? So as you see, it's very user friendly. It's telling you, but you need to remember how to do these things because it's only going to explain it to you once. In the future, when it tells you you need to update an employee or update employee record for Mickey Mouse, okay? They're not going to tell you how to update the employee record for Mickey Mouse because they've already taught you how to do it. So you need to remember how to do this or go back to October 9th payroll and, this is how we did it, okay? Or use the question mark right here for help, okay? But as you're doing these tasks, don't just simply, payroll module task, okay, let me do it without understanding what is it that you're doing, okay? So in this part, we're going to be updating the employee information, okay? So it says to scroll down to employee number 180 right here and enter your own name, okay? So we're going to enter our last name, okay? And it's last name, first name, okay? Let me see. That's the only thing that we have to change. And then click save, okay? And the information has been updated. Now I have that information. If you are to hire a new employee, you can add a new employee here. So as you're doing these tasks, explore what else can you do. Well, under employees, I can update my employee profile. I can update their addresses, their phone numbers, their social, their filing status. And this is very important because depending on their filing status is the taxes that they're going to have to pay. Are they married, single, all of that good stuff, right? The number of pay periods, the GL numbers that are going to be affected. Some people are salaried, other people are hourly. So all of this information, as you're doing this, pay attention to what you're doing. Okay, I can update employee information here. So let's say, for example, Catherine used to be single. Now she's married. We're going to update her status here. Okay, so just things of those nature. I'm going to add a new employee. I can do it here. Okay, so just be cautious as you're doing these tasks of what else can you do. Okay, that way you can refresh your memory. Okay, so we've already updated the information, and you're gonna go do step number 4, the instruction for number 4, display the employee list report. Okay, so I'm not gonna continue because it's gonna take me quite a bit to go through the whole 14 steps. What I do want to show you is you're gonna go through these instructions. Now, in this case, it's telling you display the employee list report. The report is shown on source document number 1. Okay, so it's giving you a direction to go to source document 1. So whenever it's telling you to go to a source document, you're going to go down here. Okay, source document. Okay, and it says from the payroll module, select reports and the employee list to view this report. Check that the employee name has changed on employee 180 from student to your name. Okay, so this is the source document, and this is the information that it should be reflecting on your source document. Okay, and we are looking that student number 180 has changed to our name. because I just changed that in the prior instruction. So it says from the payroll module, we're in the payroll module, select reports, and then select employee list. That is going to give you a list of all of your employees. Okay, you can move that to the side, and we're going to just make sure that my name did change on that employee 180. And then you see, I'm going to go and verify, and we've got employee 180. This is a source document. So we've got employee 180 is single, has 26 pay periods, worked 52 weeks, and the hourly rate is $15. Okay, that is the salary rate. Okay, for me. Okay, so I'm getting paid $15 an hour. So that is correct. You can print the report, download it, or whatever is it that you need. So they're just asking you to display the report. We've already displayed the report. You're going to verify that the name changed, which it did. And if it did not, you need to make the corrections to make sure that the name changes to your name. Okay. And make sure to save your work if you made any changes. Okay. Once you're done, you're going to move on. Okay. 5, enter the payroll transactions for October 9, beginning with check number 672. Refer to source document number 2. So we're going to go to source document number 2. Here is where you're going to begin entering transactions. Let me make this a little bit bigger. Okay. So you've got instructions. This is how you enter the information. To enter the payroll records, select task and pay employees. Okay. So under payroll records, task, pay employees. Okay, so you're going to be doing this. And I'm not going to do it because it's going to be time consuming. Okay, but I'm just showing you. So you're going to open it up. Okay, use the add to add a new employee. So what I recommend is that you print this out. So that way you have exactly what is it that you're going to pay. You're going to pay Bono 80 hours. Okay, union dues of 8. Jamie, regular salary, so on and so forth. Okay, so you're going to be, this is the document that you're going to be doing to enter the payroll transactions here. Okay, so you're going to add an employee, the date. Okay, now that is why I recommend, you see, once you start clicking buttons, this is going to disappear. So either you take a picture of it or you print it out. Okay, so that way you don't get confused. Or to be toggling back and forth. Okay, and then you're going to be selecting the name of the employee based on the source document. So you're going to select Bono. Okay, and then you're going to do the hours. They're going to be doing 80 hours, regular hours 80. Okay, and then this employee only has the union dues of $8, regular hours, and then we're going to scroll up. Union dues $8. Okay. And then you're going to do the next, okay, and the next and the next, okay? And then you're going to continue following the instructions, okay? And then you're going to click the calculate taxes down here. Calculate taxes. The system will automatically calculate Social Security, Medicare, the additional deductions. Those need to be entered manually because the system doesn't know if the employee participates in group insurance, union dues, simple contributions, stuff like that. But the state income tax, the SUTA, federal income tax, state income tax, and state income tax, Social Security tax are automatically calculated when you click your calculate taxes. Okay, so it tells you here what to do. Save your work. Once you're done entering all of your employees, okay, you calculate your taxes and you save your work. Okay, so as you can see, it is not rocket science what we're doing. You are given instructions. Okay, now remember, you are given instructions in payroll 9 for October the 9th. When you do the payroll for the next period, okay, which is going to be October the 23rd, you are not going to get the instructions. Click here, click there. No. Okay, you've already done one of them, so you should know how to do the rest. Okay, so that is why I recommend that you either take screenshots of these, print them out. That way you keep like a little manual of what is it that you're doing. Oh, when I want to add payroll, I do this, or when I want to do this, I do this. Okay, and it's just gonna make it so much easier. Okay, when I was working at a bank, I had a manual of things to do. There was things that we didn't do every day, that we did once every quarter, once every year. And I am not going to have my memory remember everything, that we're doing. So I had notes. I would take screenshots. Okay. At end of year, I need to do this, and this. Okay. Or at end of quarter, I need to do this, and this. Okay. So keep notes. When you learn a new task, take a picture, print it out. That way you can refer back to it. Okay. So you're going to be doing this October 9th payroll for all 14 items or tasks. Okay. And it's going to teach you a lot of things. Okay. So I don't want to record changes. Okay. So you're going to go ahead and you're going to do that. Okay. This October 9th payroll is going to be a guide. It is going to teach you how to do a lot of the things. So pay close attention. Now I'm going to close it out. Okay. Now I'm going to go to the October 23rd payroll. Okay. And we're going to open it up. And for the rest of the month, it's going to be basically the same. You're going to be asked to do specific tasks. Okay. Read over all of this information so you can be familiar with the what the expectation is, information about the requirements, stuff of that nature. These are just general instructions. Read over them. Okay. So here we have 12 tasks. Okay. Now we're starting a new payroll period. This is dated October 20th. So they start off with making sure that your date is correct. And then enter and post the October 20 transactions required to the deposit of the Pennsylvania state income tax. Refer to source document. So you're going to go to the source document and you're going to go ahead and you're going to follow the instructions. Okay. These are the source document. Okay. The state filing information worksheet that you're going to be using along with the instructions. So we have not done this before. These are new instructions that you're being provided. You're going to go ahead and you're going to follow the instructions to do the task. Okay. So it'll tell you here if you need to refer to a source document. Okay. So you're just going to follow the instructions as they're outlined. If you have to refer to a source document, they're here. Okay. So you're going to continue doing the same thing until you complete all 14. Once you're done, you save your work. Okay. And you can check your work. Okay. If you click the button before proceeding, ensure that the data active in each window has been saved. So in order for the system to check your work, it must be saved. So before you check your work, click the save button and then save it. My recommendation is that after you complete all 12 items, you check your work. Or let me quickly check how many check your works did I give you. That way I can give you that information. Let me minimize this and let me open a new tab, just so I can give you a good understanding of how many check your works I have given you. Let me see. I don't want to give you incorrect information and then you all go crazy checking your works and then it's limited, because I would think that it would give you like a number and it doesn't. So let me go and verify that really quickly for you guys. Let me go to payroll and let me open up the project in my student faculty view. So we're doing module 15 and let me open up the project here. Give me a second. And that's going to really help you to not only get a better grade, but understand, okay, if I made a mistake and it has an X, how can I go back and fix it? Okay. And you're going to have to be using your analytical skills to fix it. Okay. Let me go into the assignments. Payroll project. Edit assignment. And let me see. Okay, so I was very nice. I gave you unlimited check your work. So you can check it after, because I did give you unlimited. I would recommend that you check it after every task that you complete. Okay. So let me close this out. So yeah, that way you have access to the most up-to-date information. And I guess I closed out all of my windows. Yes, I did. Okay, so let me relaunch it. So you're gonna just basically have unlimited, that we've clarified. You have unlimited check your works. So that way there's really no excuse. You do something, you check your work. If it's right, you move on. If it's not, you fix it at that point in time. Okay, until you become familiar with it. Okay, so you're going to just go through the motion. You're going to be repeating. A lot of the stuff is going to be repeats. You're going to do a little bit of different things here and there, but for the most part, you're going to be following, every payroll period is very similar. Okay, so payroll for October 9 is a tutorial. Pay super close attention, and then you're going to do the following payroll periods. And as you can see, you launch it. It gives you the tutorial. If you feel comfortable, you can skip it after, the second or third time. But if not, if you want to become familiar again, just do the tour. If not, just exit out of here. Okay. And then you are going to begin for November 13th. You only have 10 things to complete. The date is November 13, so you make sure that the date is correct. Okay. And then they're telling you that a special payroll needs to be run because they're discharging an employee. Ruth Williams is being discharged, so now I have to complete this task. Refer to source document 1. You're going to go to your source document. You've got the instructions here, what you're going to pay Ruth, and you've got the source document, which is the memo where you are being asked in the payroll department to prepare a special payroll check for Ruth Williams to terminate her. Okay, so you're going to be able to follow the instructions and complete the task. Okay, and then you're going to move on to the following items, so on and so forth. Okay, so the system does not change. Okay, it's just a task that you have to complete every time. Okay, and then of course you check your work. Okay, so this is what you're going to be completing. For the first part of the semester, it's just basically doing all of the different payrolls for October, November, and then if we close out of here, let's launch the second part of the project, which will be on week 16. Okay, so on week 16, we have part B of the project. Okay, you are going to have to complete the payroll for December, 3 payroll periods in December. Okay, let me launch the assignment. So you're going to have 3 more payroll periods. So by now you should be very comfortable processing payroll because you've been doing it you did October, November, and December. October and November last week, and now you're going to be doing December. Okay. And then you're going to be tasked with some end of year activities. You're going to open the General Ledger tab. And these are things that need to happen every end of year. Okay. So these are unique in nature. So you have 8 items that you will need to complete. Okay. And instructions are provided. It's telling you before you begin this activity, you should have printed a copy of the December 18 payroll report. If you have not done so, print it. Okay, print it before you begin. Okay, so please, read and follow the instructions. If they're telling you you need the report, a printed copy of the report is because you're going to be needing it. Okay, so step number 1 is just changing the date, printing the report. And then step number 2, change the system date to January the 6th, 2024, and enter and post the following transactions. Refer to source document 1. So you're going to go to your source document, and this is what you're going to have to do. Okay, it's telling you which you're going to go to the general ledger module, so on and so forth. And these are the source documents that you're going to be doing. You're going to be filing a state filing information worksheet, which is done semi-monthly for the company in the amount of $3,414.54. Okay, so you follow the instructions to complete the task. Okay, so you're going to go through the motion and just do whatever the instructions tell you. If you have questions, this is where you would click the button to ask questions. And these are just the common tasks that you do. if you are needing help on downloading into Excel, entering transactions into special journals, entering transactions into the general journal, company information, how to set up a company, stuff like that. Banking functions we don't use, but the general ledger system we do. How to pull up the journal report, the ledger reports, financial statements. So you just click on them and it'll give you just key information about each of the different modules. Okay, and then if you have a specific question, you can just type it there. Okay, so there's a lot of resources within the system to help you answer your questions. It's just a matter of you sitting down and investing the time to wanting to learn. Okay, very important. Okay, so you're going to be completing these tasks, 3 payroll transactions, and then the end of year activities for week number 2. Okay, I really hope that you enjoy the project. It is a wonderful system. I believe that it's going to put a lot of things into perspective of what we've been covering from chapters 1 through 6 manually, and now that we're doing in a computer system. You know what? It would have been very easy for me to start with a system like this and tell you, okay, you're going to just enter the employee name, click a button, and then it calculates your taxes. Okay. But now you understand how the taxes are calculated manually, the rates and all of that stuff, the limits. And now you can see, okay, now all I have to worry about is kind of like validate. Make sure that all of the information is correct. And the system automatically does the entries for us. It does all of the calculations for us. So, I am wishing you an engaging and fruitful learning experience as you use the general ledger system. And for me, it's all about organization. Organize your time so you can have sufficient time to work on it and actually learn. Okay? Do not wait for Sunday at 6 p.m. to begin working on the project, because you are going to be lost. Okay? So that way, if you have questions or you're not sure of something, or you've been trying it and you can't get it right, then you can seek my help, and I can be able to provide that guidance. Okay? But remember, you've got the semester project, which is basically covering chapter 7, which is putting everything that we learned from chapters 1 through 6 into perspective using an automated general ledger software system. And the problem is broken down into part A and B. So you do have specific deadlines for week 15, which is going to deal with October and November payroll. You have until April the 28th to complete. And for week 16, you've got the December payroll and the end of year activities, and those are due on May the 5th. Okay, so just remember to review the information carefully. Remember that you do have unlimited check your works. Take advantage of that. Take advantage of check your works, and then save your work as you are completing the project. If you do instruction 1, save it, and then you go to instruction 2 and then save it, and it's going to ask you, before proceeding, ensure that the data has been saved. I want to save it, and then it'll save. Okay, you'll get the message that it's been saved. I've saved it, then I move on to number 3. I do whatever I need to do on step 3, and then I save my work. Okay, save as you work on it. That way, if you have a glitch in the system or you have to leave in an emergency, you've already saved your work and you don't have to start all over again. Okay, so and then it'll be giving you a score as you check your work. It'll tell you what your grade is, and then it'll tell you what you got right, what you got wrong, so you can go back and revise. Okay, so this is basically just a quick overview of the information. This is just an overview of the company's information. So the system, or the company that we're doing our payroll for, which is GlobeBright, already had transactions happening for the first, second, and third quarter. We are working on the fourth quarter, which is October through December, and the end of year activities. So you will find information that we didn't actually work for, or we didn't actually enter, but that had been already uploaded into the system for the other 3 quarters. Okay, so it gives you the expense distribution, the balance sheet information, our assets, liabilities, and owner's equity, and all of this good stuff. So just explore the information, explore the different menu options, the different menu options up here of the tasks that you can complete for each of the menu options. And I just hope all of you enjoy this project. It is worth 150% part A and B combined. That is 15% of your overall grade. Now, before I close out, this will be your 2-week project before we jump over to the final exam. So you will be working back to back, week 15 and week 16 on this project. And then the last week of the semester is going to be your final exam. Remember, if you go to week 15, you will find the final exam overview or the review sheet. Let me open it up real quick for you. That way you can see that it's available. Okay, so you have your final exam review, and then these are the problems that are going to be covered in your final exam. Okay, so focus on these specific problems, and if you have any questions or need any clarification, please let me know. By now, all of the solutions to your homework are available, so if you completed the assignment, you will have the correct answers with feedback. If you did not complete the assignment, then you will not have anything to review. Okay, but look over the specific problems, and if you have questions or concerns, please get with me weeks 15 or 16 before the final exam, because once the final exam becomes available, I will not be answering any content related questions. So aside of working on the project weeks 15 and 16, also begin your final exam review and use that 2 weeks to ask questions about any of the problems in your final exam. That way you are ready for when we get to week 17, where we're going to have our comprehensive final exam over chapters 1 through 6. Okay, so this information is available to you in week 15. I believe, let me see, I don't know if I posted it on week 16 as well, but I think I did. Let me see. Yes, the final exam is also on week 16, so that way, you have it every week available as a reminder to you that, what, I need to study and prepare for my final exam. Okay, so that is basically what we are going to be covering this 2-week project dealing with the general ledger software system. I wish you all the best as you complete it. Put all of your efforts into it. Explore the system. And if you have any questions or concerns, please do not hesitate to reach out to me. Okay, just be specific. Do not tell me I do not understand anything, because that is impossible. As you can see, very clear instructions are being provided. Okay, so if you have a specific question, send me a picture of the specific area that you're working on, the specific instruction, the specific source document, because I cannot guess where you're lost. Okay, so be very specific in your questions when you're probing specific items, and I will be more than glad to help out as much as I can. Okay, so that is it for this semester project. Questions or concerns, please send them my way. Enjoy the project, and until next time, have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.